Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at First United Methodist Church with someone that you'll recognize from our community. Dwayne Little, thank you for inviting us down today and for sharing a great performance again this year with the keyboard praise. Now, Dwayne, you've been a part of First United Methodist Church for about how long now?
I came April of last year as the director of the music ministries here, but been a part for about 20 years.
Of the keyboard praise. And,
yes.
And so tell us how your first initial contact with keyboard praise was. Take us back to that 20 years ago.
Well, Callaway Gardens used to be a host for a music conference that many of the original members of Keyboard Praise that we played with drew their resourcing for their church ministries. And while I was there, I met Hank Oplinger, I met Henry King, and found out about this format that was going on in the area and was just so excited to see it happening. So I jumped in and found out when I could be a part, and they invited me to come starting 20 years ago. So.
You've always loved to express your creativeness, your gift that you have to share with others. You've always enjoyed that, and it's obvious whenever we see you play. Thank you for what you've done in the past, and we're looking forward to this year. I know a lot of people out there will want to attend, so what's the date for that and the times?
We're going to be on January the 21st, a week from this Sunday, at 6 p.m. at First United Methodist Church again. It'll be back at First United Methodist Church for the first time in several years since Henry King retired from that church. And he's going to be a part of this program, and we're so glad that he's going to be back home and playing that concert with us, and that we're just really privileged to be able to do it. So,
It's good to be able to host it. What a beautiful church to have it in. I know this is a special place to you, obviously, and so many in our community will be able to turn out and enjoy that. The sound, the beautiful music, and of course you'll have different artists, different people coming in to play.
yes.
Who will we have this year?
Hank Oplinger was one of the original creators of Keyboard Praise and was instrumental always in the way we've produced it here in Dublin, and he's going to be returning this year as well. I'm usually privileged to be able to go there and be with Keyboard Praise with him in Illinois each year, and he's been a part of Henry's productions at Jefferson Street Baptist and also here, and every year that I've been involved. So he's going to be back. Henry King is returning with us this year, so we're excited about that, and Henry's always great to work with. As well, we have a newcomer this year with John Morgan. John's the director of the music ministries at First United Methodist Church in Vidalia, as well as a part of he's a choral director in the Vidalia City Schools. So John's a gifted musician, and he's come to Adrian for numerous years for the Dublin district when it was that district, and playing for camp meeting services, but he's a very accomplished musician as well. So he's a great guy to work with, and we're looking forward to being with him.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. You always like to get someone new involved if you can,
yes.
Right?
Also on our organ, Patricia Nuss is my assistant here at the church and our organist, and Patricia's just a fine musician. We have a wonderful Austin organ that was from the 50s, and she's a large part of us maintaining the quality of the church worship that we have. For all of us, it's important that we see nice instruments in the church, that we see a tradition of just fine worship procedure, that we really see it as something that we're called to create and we strive to maintain excellence with. But she really is a wonderful flute player. She's an excellent organist and just easy to depend on. And we're going to have several organists and a flute and violinists, just enjoying different textures in worship. So
Dwayne, why is that important? Why is the atmosphere, the order, the formality, if you will, of it, why is that so important?
Well, I think with any of the things we face with modern culture, it's not necessarily that we're setting a grid that has to be followed. Instead, it's when we reflect on something that may have been written by one of the Wesleys or Horatio Spafford or anyone that has written one of those classic hymns that has been a part of how many of us memorize Scripture through our childhood or how we experienced worship, and to see people that understand that Anglican tradition that we came from, or that Wesleyan tradition, or that Calvinistic tradition, and the way the hymns have been a part of the beauty of the message of the church. So we hold that as a form to be tested by the modern culture, that that we need to be hand in hand, and to relate to our past is the best way to know where we need to go in the future. So to make the younger generation, the general public, understand why we love what the content is and why we do what we do.
Yeah.
That's the biggest part of it.
And I love it. I appreciate it so much, and the way you lay out the actual program, the way it's been laid out for years, in the way you set it from the very first song until the final song is just, it's emotional.
Yes. Catherine Porter Bell will be our narrator again this year, and she's going to share some narrations that, in brief, little excerpts to tell us much about the history of each one of the hymns as we go by, as well as the people that are participating in worship. So we'll have about 11 musicians that come and be a part of that service, in one way or the other. So we'll unfold it and let God use it.
Okay, so would you tell us a little bit, give us a little bit of a preview of what type of music, some of the songs?
Well, there's things that come from, like I say, a very Wesleyan tradition, things that have a lot of verses, but it's a little like reading the Old Testament. If you go through every verse, you see so much content there. We have gospel songs, things that are more from the revivalist tradition, where they rally us to a certain emotion or feeling, or even choruses that we just use as part of our praise and our worship. They're layered in over hymns and combined with them in conjunction with them. It's a good blend of looking at things in a casual way, but at the same time leading up to a place where we can soberly say, this is what we believe. And God's been faithful through the generations. And through our music, we can still proclaim that over and over. So.
And I'm certainly not sharing anything with you. I'm just agreeing that music is such a part of our lives, Dwayne, and it speaks to us at such a basic and intricate level at the same time. So that's what I really receive from it, and so many people do in the community when we're able to share it over the airwaves. When I speak to people about the keyboard praise coming up again, and people just become excited about it. And I know we want to invite everyone out again. Remind us of the times.
It's going to be at 6 p.m. on the 21st of January here at First United Methodist Church on Gain Street, right behind Morris Bank and the funeral home.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful church to enjoy. If you've never been, you want to turn out. And we're looking forward to covering it this year. Now, if you step back in time, you can remember about 20 years ago, whenever I guess Henry first called you and wanted you to become a part of it. He knew what talent you had. Where were you at that time?
I was coming to Louisville as a children music and youth director there. I served about 11 and a half years in Louisville total. And they've just been wonderful comrades, and we've had a chance to perform this program in Texas and different places here in Georgia and, like I said, in Illinois. And you see a common thread between the congregations. They're very diverse in the personality of the congregations. So it's been interesting to be a part of it. Especially Louisville's a smaller town, so to come to Dublin, it was just nice to see this congregation and the commitments that they've made and the heritage that they have in the way they've expressed their music program.
And each time you bring someone in, a new face in, it I'm sure is encouraging to them. You probably heard that and found that over time.
I think it's encouraging. It's probably a little bit intimidating because it depends on the factors of improvisation. It's very much an interplay between us. Everything that we work with is not on the page. Some of us don't like to play anything but what's on the page. Some people don't want a page, but we have to bring them home. So God really orchestrates it into a wonderful collaboration between us.
That's an encouraging and perfect way to put it. Now we have Mr. Henry King. You invited him down because this wouldn't be, it was kind of his brainchild here in our community.
Absolutely.
It was his effort that started it, Dwayne. So we're going to take a short break and be right back with Mr. Henry King. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Christy Sims with Barry Walker Insurance Agency right here in Dublin, Georgia, your nationwide agent. I've spent the last 18 years at Geico Insurance in Macon, and I am so glad to be serving you here and all the people in Dublin. No matter what you need, I'm here to serve you with any of your insurance retirement needs, from your auto to your homeowners to your boat, RV, motorcycle, or pet. That's right, folks. Nationwide has been helping pet owners provide optimal veterinary care since 1982. So call me now and I'll work hard to make sure that you and your family and all your pets are covered. I'm Christy Sims and I want to work for you. Always remember, Nationwide is on your side.
Everyone at Piggly Wiggly would like to thank you for helping make 2017 another great year. In 2017, Piggly Wiggly celebrated our 100th birthday. And as we bid a warm farewell to good old 17 and welcome a wonderful new year, we're committed to continued customer satisfaction in the year ahead. Happy New Year from everyone at Piggly Wiggly, downtown Dublin. Okay, we welcome you back here with Mr. Henry King, and you know the community knows and loves you, Henry. When people see you around, they always, I know I always do it, it brightens my day. I always want to smile because you've shared so much over time. You've shared your faith, your Christian walk, your talents, your God-given talents with us. And for more than 20 years, you've been helping us. You said it's a little over 20 years. For the keyboard praise.
For the keyboard praise, yes.
Mm-hmm. But you've been involved in music for many more years than that, haven't you?
Well, yes.
Just a few?
About 70 or so.
How wonderful. So, Henry, what does it mean to you to be a part of the keyboard praise each year?
It's just a lot of fun to me, just to work with great musicians and be able to be free with your music and express the way you feel through music. And you can't do that with everybody. But the group that we have here together, that's a group that you can really work with and feel like you're accomplishing maybe a need that you have within yourself that doesn't otherwise get accomplished.
Yeah. So you want to express your talents to everyone, and you want to do it in a group because that helps you to express it more?
Yes, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I really do think so.
And you're of one accord on this, no pun intended.
We try.
It takes a little practice, huh? About how many weeks you guys work on this each year?
About 2 days.
And it comes together because of many, many years of talent and practice and performing and a love of Christian music, a love of
Right, and the way we do this, there's not too much that you can prepare for. It's after you get together that you make the unique arrangements and so forth, and that just doesn't come through preliminary practice. It comes as we get together right before the performances. I say performances, I would rather call them worship services.
Yes, it is that. It is that. Do you have something special for us this year? You're going to share a little bit something different than you played in the past?
Not I. No, I'm just being part of it this year.
So you've kind of passed the gavel along, have you?
I have, yes, sir. At 78 years old, I think it's time.
You'll participate as long as you can, but you pass the gavel along.
Exactly. I don't want the responsibility.
And Dwayne can...
Dwayne can take that responsibility.
What does it mean to you to be able to come back into First United Methodist Church?
There's so many memories here. I was here for almost 25 years.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of... It's still a family to me.
Yes.
It became a family through the years, and it's a wonderful church to work in. Dwayne is very blessed to be here. What does it mean to be here? It just means I've come home.
Yeah, that's nice. And so we want you to join us right here on the 21st at 6 p.m. You'll be able to see a lot of great artists play. Has there ever been an instance, and I'm going to put you on the spot here now, Henry, where things just didn't go the way you thought they would, but you pulled them all together and nobody ever knew the difference?
I would imagine that's happened several times.
That's what I thought, but you just keep going,
You
don't
just keep going, right.
Yeah, and it all comes together.
It's like when you make a mistake, you're playing.
Yeah.
If you don't stop and acknowledge that mistake, nobody knows it.
Yeah, maybe one in the crowd may realize it, right? I hear you. And so you stay pretty active still, don't you?
Yes.
Still playing at the country club?
I still play at the country club, and I'm minister of music at Jefferson Street Baptist. But I had a problem this year that kind of cut down on me. I had open heart surgery in June, and it has really changed my my lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, we all pray for you and wish you the best. We all slow down, I guess, as we get a little bit older.
Hate to admit that, but that is true, yes.
Yes, but we wish you the very best, Henry. We appreciate so much what you do. What do you say to maybe young musicians out there, someone who's practicing the piano, who's maybe competing a little bit? What do you say to them as far as the discipline of it and also the joy of it?
That's a difficult question. I would say to them, keep practicing. There will be times when you feel like not going on, you feel like quitting, but keep working at it, and eventually it will come together.
Yeah, just like this performance will.
Yes.
This coming Sunday night, it'll come together and it'll be exceptionally well. We look forward to sharing it with you over the airways of TV 35, but you'll want to come because nothing takes the place of live music. Nothing can duplicate what you'll hear in this beautiful church this coming Sunday. So we invite you to Keyboard Praise again this year. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Henry.
Thank you, Ron.
All right. We'll see you again right here on TV 35.